Bill Clinton just called Donald Trump's bluff, and what just happened is one of the most remarkable political moments we've seen. The Republicans wanted to use Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton as a distraction. They wanted to hold them in contempt. They wanted to make this about the Clintons instead of what's really in the Epstein files. But the Clintons said something that nobody expected. They didn't just agree to testify. They said they want to do it in public. Not behind closed doors, not in private, in front of the entire world. Think about that for a second. The Republicans set a trap. They said if you don't show up, we're holding you in contempt. They expected the Clintons to refuse. They expected drama. They expected something to distract from the Epstein files. Instead, the Clintons walked right into that room and said yes, but with a condition. Make it public. Let everyone see what happens. Here's what's important to understand. The Epstein files' partial release included 3 million documents, but experts believe there are at least 3 million more documents still missing. As many as 50 million pages might be concealed by Trump's Justice Department, and there are improper redactions that could still be implicating Donald Trump. There are 38,000 references to Donald Trump in the Epstein files that were released. 38,000! Not casual mentions, but references in documents that contain allegations, detailed allegations about Trump's interactions with people connected to Epstein. Yet Trump keeps claiming the files vindicate him. Trump keeps saying there's nothing about him in there. So when the Republicans said they wanted to subpoena the Clintons, they were trying to shift the narrative. They wanted to focus on Bill Clinton's past. They wanted to distract from the 38,000 references to Trump. They wanted to control the story. But then the Clintons responded in a way that completely flipped the script. They sent a letter to Republican Congressman James Comer. They offered specific dates: February 26th for Hillary Clinton, February 27th for Bill Clinton. They said they would testify under oath, but they had one demand: make it public. Here's what the Clintons wrote. They said, "We have never been asked to appear in an open hearing. We now believe that will best suit our concerns about fairness." Think about what that means. The Clintons are saying something important. They're saying that private depositions could be misrepresented. They're saying that if this happens behind closed doors, the Republicans could claim they said things they didn't say. They could control the narrative. They could lie about what was discussed. But in public, in front of cameras, in front of the entire world, that changes everything. Everyone can see exactly what's said. Everyone can hear the questions and the answers. There's no room for misrepresentation. There's no room for lying about what happened. Now let's look at what James Comer said before the Clintons responded. Comer was demanding a contempt charge. Comer was saying the Clintons were refusing to cooperate. Let's look at what he actually said. Comer claimed the Clintons weren't producing documents, but that wasn't accurate. The documents were being produced. Congress voted on a discharge petition to send a message, and the Clintons complied. They sent a big batch of documents. Democrats said there weren't enough redactions, so the Justice Department went through and made sure things were properly redacted. Comer said the Justice Department is cooperating. They're turning over documents. He said President Trump is answering questions about Epstein. He said Trump answered them over and over again. But then Comer said the person they haven't heard from is Bill Clinton. But here's what's interesting. Trump claims the files vindicate him. Trump claims there's nothing about him in the files. So why does Comer need to question Clinton? What does it matter what Clinton knows, unless Comer is trying to distract from what the files actually say about Trump? But before the Clintons agreed to testify, they made a powerful public statement. Here's what Bill Clinton said about the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Clinton said the law imposed a clear legal duty on the Justice Department to produce the full and complete record the public deserves. But then Clinton said something critical. He said something or someone is being protected. We do not know whom, what, or why. That's a direct message to Trump. That's Clinton saying, look, we can see that the Justice Department is hiding something. We can see that not everything is being released, and we are asking why. Clinton then said something powerful. He said, "We do not need such protection. Accordingly, we call on President Trump to direct Attorney General Bondi to immediately release any remaining materials." Clinton was essentially saying, if you have nothing to hide, release everything. Show the whole world what's in those files. But Trump hasn't done that, and the Clintons noticed. Now, there's a bigger question here. If Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are willing to testify in public, why isn't Donald Trump? Trump claims vindication. Trump claims the files prove his innocence. So why wouldn't Trump also agree to a public hearing? Why wouldn't Trump answer questions from Congress? The answer is obvious. Trump is scared. Trump doesn't want to testify under oath. Trump doesn't want to be questioned in public. Because once you're under oath, you're legally required to tell the truth. You can't just claim vindication. You can't just make statements that contradict the documents. You have to answer specific questions. And that's something Trump appears unwilling to do. This also raises another important issue. If the Clintons are testifying publicly, what about Elon Musk? Musk appears extensively in the Epstein files. Musk was hanging around with Trump. Musk is mentioned in the documents, but Musk hasn't agreed to testify. Musk just goes on social media and makes statements. What about other Trump associates? What about the cabinet members who are refusing to show up to congressional hearings? There's a pattern here. People in Trump's circle don't want to testify under oath. They want to make statements on social media. They want to control the narrative, but they don't want to face questions in front of Congress. Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy raised this exact point. He said when Democrats were in charge of Congress, they brought administration officials to testify regularly. That's how oversight works. That's how you ensure accountability. But under Trump, people are refusing to show up, and the Republican-controlled Congress isn't forcing them to. Krishnamurthy pointed out something else important. He said the more the public sees and hears what's actually going on, the more trust they develop. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Transparency is essential. When hearings happen in private, things can be misrepresented. When they happen in public, everyone knows the truth. But the Republicans are trying to do something different. They want private depositions. They want to control what information gets out. They want to be able to claim things were said that weren't actually said. The Clintons understood this. That's why they demanded a public hearing. Krishnamurthy also talked about how cabinet members are avoiding accountability. He mentioned that the Office of Management and Budget Director doesn't show up to Budget Committee meetings. Christine Noem shows up for 20 minutes and leaves. These people aren't being held accountable. They're not being questioned seriously. They're not being grilled under oath. This connects back to the Epstein files. If Trump's administration is already avoiding accountability on other issues, why would we expect them to be honest about Epstein? If cabinet members are refusing to testify about their jobs, why would Trump or his associates testify about their connections to Epstein? Krishnamurthy called for Christine Noem to resign. He called for her to be fired. He's even joined calls to impeach her. Because accountability matters. Because when people refuse to answer questions, something is usually being hidden. The same applies to the Epstein situation. When Trump claims vindication but refuses to testify publicly. When Trump's Justice Department keeps documents concealed. When Trump's DOJ deletes files and then puts them back up. When Trump attacks people like Thomas Massie who support transparency, that tells us something. So here's what's happening. The Republicans tried to create a publicity stunt. They wanted to use the Clintons as a distraction. They wanted to shift focus away from the 38,000 Trump references in the files. But the Clintons flipped the script. They said yes to testifying, but in public. Now the Republicans have a problem. They can't control the narrative anymore. They can't misrepresent what gets said. Everything will be on the record. Everything will be documented. The Clintons understand something important. In a public hearing, the truth matters. Questions get asked, answers get given, and everyone can see it happen. That's accountability. That's transparency. And that's exactly what the Republicans wanted to avoid when they set this trap. So what does this tell us about the Epstein situation? It tells us that the truth matters. It tells us that transparency matters. It tells us that when people are willing to testify publicly about something, they're usually telling the truth. And when people refuse to testify, or demand private hearings, or claim ignorance, or attack people seeking transparency, that's when we should ask questions. The Clintons called the Republicans bluff. They said, "Bring it on. Do it in public. Let the world see what we have to say." That's confidence. That's someone who isn't afraid of the truth. Meanwhile, Trump keeps claiming vindication while refusing to testify. Trump keeps saying there's nothing about him in the files, while his Justice Department hides documents. Trump keeps attacking people like Thomas Massie who support transparency. Which one looks like someone telling the truth? Which one looks like someone with something to hide? You can make your own judgment. Look at the facts. Look at the behavior. Look at who's willing to testify publicly and who's refusing. That tells you everything you need to know. So that's what's happening with the Clinton testimony and the Epstein files. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to understand what's really going on with these investigations, please like and follow for more analysis like this.